Vietnamese authorities have seized more than 2 tons of illegal pangolin scales and ivory from Africa. They were found hidden in 3 containers of wood at a northern port city by custom police. Trade in ivory and pangolin is illegal in Vietnam.
But trafficking remains widespread. And for more, let's speak to Tung Ngo. He's in Vietnam for us. Tung, how did the authorities get wind of this round of trafficking?
Well, the Vietnamese authorities get wind of this round of trafficking the same way they did many times earlier this year and the past. The 2-ton seizure was found in a shipping container in Vietnam's northern port city of Hai Phong. In the container that was supposed to be carrying timber originating from Africa. And the majority of the seizure is pangolin scales, believed to come from more than 250 pangolins, one of the world's most critically endangered species. And pangolin is among the top 3 wildlife products that are mostly widely trafficked in Vietnam. The other 2 include rhino horns and elephant. But the significance of this seizure is not about the amount, the scale of the confiscation of the wildlife products, because Vietnam authorities have made a much bigger confiscation of wildlife products before. But the significance of this seizure is it further confirms what conservation groups have been saying, that what has been detected is only a tip of the iceberg, and the illegal wildlife trafficking is still thriving. And Vietnam continues to be a major transit hub as well as destination for wildlife trafficking. And as you remember, earlier this year, authorities in Hong Kong and Singapore have also confiscated a record number of wildlife products, pangolins and ivories, in shipping containers that were destined to Vietnam.
So, Vietnam knows that it is a transit point for wildlife trafficking. What measures have the authorities then put in place to deter wildlife trafficking?
In the face of mounting international pressure and criticism from conservation groups, Vietnamese authorities and Vietnam government have vowed to crack down on this illegal trade. Vietnam tightened its law and give a stricter punishment to violators who could face up to 15 years in prison. But one of the key problems is a lack of coordination between Vietnam's law enforcement agencies in combating this illegal trade. Now, again, this is not the first time Vietnam made this kind of the seizure of wildlife products. But in the past, but this lack of coordination has undermined prosecution, and there's been no major prosecution against those who were involved in previous massive seizures that Vietnam government made. And, experts also believe that there's also a lack of long-term and nationwide strategy to combat this illegal trade. But again, some experts here in Hanoi told me that the wildlife trafficking is part of transnational organized crimes that requires joint efforts from different governments to combat.
Tung, so there are stricter laws, there's international pressure, but trafficking continues. Why is this?
Oh, there are many reasons to this, but chief among them is that the demand is still there. Vietnam, as you mentioned, serves as a major transit hub for wildlife products to go to other markets in Asia, mainly China. But Vietnam itself is also a destination. Pangolin here can be used as a delicacy. Pangolin scales can be used in traditional medicine, as many people believe that they can cure certain diseases, including cancer. And the same goes with rhino horns. Elephant ivory can be used as decorative trinkets. But in fighting this crime, there's a lack of public awareness here in Vietnam, because many people still believe that the consumption of wildlife products is a way to show off their wealth and also to improve their social status. So that belief drives the demand, and at the same time push many endangered species in the world closer to their extinctions.
All right, Tung, thank you very much for that. We've been speaking there to Tung Ngo, reporting to us from Vietnam.